Good morning and welcome to Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates, where today's show begins. Last time you may recall that I endured delays, storms, an Albanian layover and even a disappointing cheese roll on Wizz Air, all to prove that long-haul travel can be done on a budget.
Wow, I've made it.
So today we're checking out the most affordable direct alternative.
Good morning from the quite impressive Zayed International Airport here in Abu Dhabi. Now today I'm flying back to London and I'm going to be flying back on British Airways, but I thought we'd fly in economy so we can show what a legacy airline can offer in comparison to that of the budget airline we experienced in the last show. So let's go and see how British Airways get on.
It's been several years since I last flew with British Airways in World Traveller, so today I'm revisiting their economy class to see what it's like in 2024. So after spending some time exploring Zayed International Airport, admiring its sleek modern design and spotless facilities, it was finally time to head to the gate and find out what was in store. Now, British Airways has a long-standing reputation, particularly when it comes to its economy cabin. While their service and products have seen significant improvement in recent years, many passengers still aren't sure what to expect from World Traveller. The last time I flew in their economy class, it was on an ageing 777 with worn-out seats and a rather uninspiring beige interior. So, like many, I find myself a bit uncertain as to what today's experience will bring. But a man walking a Hoover wouldn't have been first on my list.
We are constituted by our priority customers in Group 0, 1 and 2 on British Airways flight to board now.
Today I'm flying aboard this Boeing 787 Dreamliner, a 6-year-old 900 series which is the middle-sized one of the Dreamliner family. This aircraft will whisk me on a journey of nearly 3,000 nautical miles, taking me directly back to London, with the flight time for today expected to take over 7 hours. And here's my home for the next 7 hours or so. Despite being a 6-year-old aircraft, the seats are a definite upgrade from my previous experience, which is a really promising start to the journey. Right then, I know you're all desperate to know if there's a seat back pocket or not, so let's have a nose round this Recaro seat. When you arrive, waiting for you is a cushion, a blanket and some very basic recyclable earphones, which aren't the best, but it is a nice touch. Once you're in your seat, your eyes are drawn to the prominent in-flight entertainment system, but we'll look at that in more detail when we're airborne. There's a USB-A port for charging devices and a narrow bifold tray table that does unfold to a reasonable size. Great news, there is a seat back pocket, but the legroom is a fairly standard offering of 31 inches of pitch. Like always, it's okay for me, however taller people will struggle with the pitch and the in-flight entertainment box housed under the seat in front, which does reduce bag and feet space. Overall, the seat is quite comfortable, which is aided by the 4-way adjustable headrest, and of course no seat tour of a 787 is complete without demonstrating the dimming window blind. So, with that all completed, it was time to push back and get on our way. The in-flight service began about 40 minutes into the flight. Before lunch, drinks and snacks were offered and I opted for an orange juice since it was still quite early. As expected in economy, it was served in a plastic cup, but it was refreshing nonetheless. For lunch, I chose the lamb curry, and also, being in economy, the meal was presented in the standard metal tray, which, while practical and time-saving for the crew, it often doesn't do much for the food's appearance. However, on this occasion, it certainly didn't detract from the taste. With lunch finished, I turned my attention to the in-flight entertainment. Before diving in, I glanced out of the window and noticed what appeared to be oil wells or perhaps abandoned drilling sites. Though I'm not entirely sure, if anyone can identify them, I'd be curious to know. As for the entertainment system, it was clearly showing its age with an outdated design and clunky controls. The headphones plugged into the armrests, and unlike newer aircraft, there was no Bluetooth option to connect your own devices. The selection of films and TV shows was fairly average, with a limited range of options, though the music and games offered a bit more variety. The in-flight map was functional, but like the rest of the system, it felt rather dated. Today's flight took an alternative route to normal, bypassing certain airspaces due to regional unrest. Although this path wasn't the most direct, it offered breathtaking views as we flew over the Gulf of Aqaba. The 787 Dreamliner features a 333 seating configuration, and while the seats are arranged quite efficiently, there's still a surprising sense of spaciousness. It's a good thing too, considering the sheer volume of food British Airways provides. Honestly, they're starting to remind me of my mum, true feeders, always making sure you're well fed. Case in point, no sooner had I settled back into my seat than a warm chicken wrap and coffee snack arrived. And for those familiar with my other videos, you'll know I'm certainly not complaining, though my waistline might be. The more airplane food, the better. As we descended into London, aviation enthusiasts among us were treated to an awesome sight, a close encounter with another British Airways Dreamliner stacked up northeast of the city. Would this have been 1,000 feet separation? I can't say for sure, but if any pilots or fellow avgeeks know, drop it in the comments. Today's flight home felt worlds apart from the low-cost flights that brought me to Abu Dhabi, but I'm glad I had the chance to showcase both budget and legacy economy options. If you haven't seen the Wizz Air trip, please check it out. You'll gain a newfound appreciation for long-haul economy cabins. So, was British Airways worth the extra cost for a direct flight home? Well, in my humble opinion, yes. The flight was comfortable, especially with the added bonus of an empty middle seat. Even if the seat had been occupied, there was still enough space to feel less claustrophobic. BA's food is certainly at the better end of the in-flight dining scale, and the crew and the service were excellent. The only downside was the somewhat dated entertainment system, with the box under the seat, limited film and TV options, and no Wi-Fi. However, these issues can vary depending on the specific aircraft. Overall, if you're considering choosing World Traveller for your next flight, you could certainly do a lot worse.
That's it. What did everyone think of the economy class trip back from Abu Dhabi with British Airways? I was quite impressed with that. I don't think I was expecting it to be as good on the old Dreamliner.
Thank you for watching today's show. I really hope you enjoyed today's flight experience with British Airways. I can't wait to see you on the next one, but until then, stay safe and embrace the journey.